Yo, folks. A while back, I asked the question, how many Sandra Birchmore are there out there? We know that Sandra was groomed by Farwell and his brother and other cops in Stoughton, Massachusetts. She was a part of the the Youth Explorer program. And it seems like it was more or less a place for people with less than honorable motives starting running that program for 14 years. Welcome to the show. Yes, News Nation found one of the participants in that Explorer program. And what she has to say is chilling.
It breaks my heart when I think about what Sandra went through. And now I'm reading about your background, and it's breaking my heart that you as a 12-year-old went through some pretty unnerving experiences. Let's just start with what it was like in that Explorers program. Can you walk me through it a little bit, what it was like for you, especially with Robert Devine heading it up?
Yeah. So, in the Explorers program, there are just a lot of blurred lines between mentorship and friendship, and between authority figure and a guy you can swear in front of. He had a regiment. We ran throughout the center of town, but then he would smack his wife in the ass in front of us and swear about his colleagues, and it was just we felt like adults.
Yeah, folks, just listening to this initial part tells me that luckily former police chief, deviant, whatever the fuck that creep is named, zero professionality. This is a youth program where police chief and the cops are figures of authority. They're supposed to lead by example. And the initial what it tells us here in the initial part, what in the actual F is going on? And this seems to have been that way from the very start, which brings us to, okay, why did he start this youth program, former chief of police? Why? Let's keep listening for a few more minutes here. A bit more.
In the program, Rob Devine surrounded himself with girls who admired him that also came from difficult homes. Not the girls that played sports with a mom and a dad that loved them. Let's just put it that way.
That, folks, is predatory behavior. It has the hallmarks of somebody. Okay, over there, you have the confident girls with good homes. Those girls are harder to groom. And what does he do? He surrounds himself with broken home girls. What does that tell you, folks? Oh, folks, keep keep it clean in the comments. YouTube has a thing with when we talk about these issues, regardless of how important it is. So please keep it clean in the comment section. But yeah, you will have to go to News Nation to listen to the rest of it, because I don't want to go away from the fair use doctrine. So go over there, listen to the rest of it, and get more appalled by each sentence she says. And for you who don't know, Robert Devine, or Deviant, he resigned before the 2015 internal affairs investigation was done, which means he got to keep his pension. So the taxpayers of Stoughton, Massachusetts, are still paying for this creep. How about that? Now, the claim is that Robert Devine had somewhat also used Sandra Birchmore. Now, he claims that's not true. I don't fucking care, because we got all the messages out of Sandra Birchmore's devices, where she describes the Farwell brothers, other cops, and yeah, I would take Sandra's word on it, simply because what she knew got her killed by Farwell. Matthew Farwell could not risk Sandra giving birth to what he then believed was his baby. It turns out it wasn't his baby. Whose was it? Was it yours, Mr. Deviant Devine Robert? Fucktwat? Creep? Was it Matthew's brother? Well, probably not, because they are twins. That would have been interesting. So whose is it? And which brings us back to the Stoughton Explorers Youth Club, run by these creeps. Now we have testimony how they ran that show, which no longer begs the question, how many more? I think we can state that as a fact now, that in and around Stoughton, Massachusetts, there are more Sandra Birchmores. Minor girls groomed by these cops. And why is this not a bigger scandal? Why isn't this news across the nation, across the world? We may or may not have a PDF file ring run by local cops in Stoughton, Massachusetts. And folks, Stoughton is not the only place in Massachusetts that had this Explorers Youth Club run by cops. There are dozens of them, going back decades. Think about that. All right, folks. Sorry for the creepy news, but it has to be told. You all have a good one, and I will see you in the next stream and video. Bye-bye.